Welcome back, everybody. Glad to have you with me on this English spider on this beautiful day.
Fuel
critical. Oh yeah, should probably fill that up real quick. As you've probably seen, I went out and got a bunch of cobalt and a bunch of gold, mainly because I want to kind of emphasize. Oh yeah, I gotta go into our tanks now, don't I? Because I'm out of ice. Yeah, I haven't filled them up yet. Can I not transfer to the tanks? Why can't I transfer to the tanks? That sucks. Oh well. I'll figure it out later. The reason I want to get that stuff, right? Oh, because there's a sorter in the way. That's right. So, the reason I want to refill bottles, please. The reason I want to actually get that kind of thing is because I want to upgrade our systems a little bit. So that's one thing we haven't gone over in a while is these blocks, the assembler and refinery, they do have upgrades you can put on them. And that's what these little squares are for on the back. Also, why I've left them open this whole time. The only spot I think I've kind of screwed up is this one here. Because the assembler actually has one on the bottom. Might make it a little difficult to get there. But that's about it. So, but to do that, if we look, we go to production, and we go to blocks, and we type in module. Yield modules, you need gold. Power efficiency modules you can get, which are easy enough. They just help save power. The machines use less power anyway. Speed modules you can get as well, but the yield modules are what I'm looking for, mainly for the refinery, because if we go to our refinery, that's our cobalt ore. You can see how slow that actually is, and it takes forever. This is real time, by the way. It's actually taking that long to tick over. So we want to get a speed module and a yield module on those. The speed module will help speed that up, but the yield module, if I bring, well, that was basic refinery. Industrial refinery would be faster, but you can see for every gold that we're breaking down, we're getting 0.09, 0.1. And that's, for 10 gold. 10 gold ore, we're getting around about 0.1 actual gold ingots. So we want to get the yield module up for those. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to go to production, large blocks, and I want 3, if we just type in module first, I want 3 yield modules worth. And it'll start making it eventually. Because we're going to put the yield modules, if I get some of those on me. So that's our speed module, power efficiency, and yield. So these also have those little squares on them. If I turn this white, it'll be easier to see. So there you go. Those also have the little squares on them. These are not conveyor ports. You cannot put like small tubes on this and run them to 20 different things. Not how it works. What we are going to do is just set this up at the top once I get steel plate. Oops. I'll fix that. Thought I could hit that, but it's not. So we're gonna put 1, 2, 3 yield modules on this. And then I also want to do a speed module. Something like that. Look good? I think so. Next, we just want to surround these back two with speed modules. And then we want a power efficiency module on the top. Simple enough. Now, if you have it to where your assembler has that space below it, you can grind out the blocks. And you can use these two here. Go ahead. By all means. The only reason I can't is because I kind of walk here. So, I can always move it. I do plan on making a specific building for production. Because having probably like 2 of each is pretty decent for a solo player. So 2 large refineries and 2 assemblers. That's pretty decent. I mean, you shouldn't need much more than that. So let's go ahead and get these welded up. You will need to find a gold and silver node, or find some gold where you're at. If you cannot find any, we're going to be building a little bit bigger of a ship anyway that will help you find that. So just go ahead and skip to the next part of the video and then come back. And we will get this done really quick. Cool. So, you got those taken care of. It took a minute for everything to get going, so sometimes it does. Just gotta be patient. But with that, that's what I want to go in here. Go into my stuff. Get steel plate, interior plate, and construction components. So what I want to do is build a ship that I can use some of this hydrogen for. So if we look, it's 8% full, so we're gonna need a lot more ice. I want to fill those 3 containers. The biggest reason is so we can start heading out, going to space. As you can see kind of over there, where the tip of my welder is, that's another place we can go to. And then, of course, we have the moon, which is going to be our next stop. So, we need a ship that can take us there. So let's go ahead and start our little building process. The building process for a large ship is going to be the same as with a small grid ship. Right? So the biggest things that I'm going to want are batteries. I am going to get an ore detector just so we can look and see what we're going to do with it. We're going to need cargo. I want some landing gear because I don't want to land just on the belly of the ship. Plus, I need something to build off of. We're going to need some gyros. And we have a battery. We have ore detector, cargo, landing gear, gyros. We're going to need some way to charge the batteries on it, right? So we can put a connector on it, hook it up to this base. That'll be good for while we're here. But while we're on the moon or in the space in between, we won't have a way to charge. There's nowhere for us to dock to. So we can put solar panels on it. which isn't a terrible idea. They're just kind of terrible when it comes to charging ships. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put that hydrogen system that we just put on in the last episode on a large grid ship. So we're gonna need, where is it at? We'll just type it in. We're gonna need oxygen and hydrogen tanks. Okay. We're gonna need some engines and O2H2 generator. Sound good? After that, we will need a cockpit. Or you can use a control seat like I'm gonna do. These are kind of cool. So everything past that is strictly how you want the ship to look. So when it comes to building large ships, I actually start with a landing gear. And I'm going to try and incorporate that landing gear into what I'm working on, so I don't have to grind it away. And what I'm going to do is kind of build off of this part here, because it's nice and flat, and it's something to, it'll give us a good idea of how big the ship is without having to dig away at the ground and do what we need to do with that. Give me a lot of parts. Do I have stuff? Oh, I do. I still have one of the yield modules. That would be why. Thank you. I'm gonna go have to get my steel plate back. I only weld that first landing gear up just because I want to make sure that it's locked. That's pretty much the basis of it. 100 of those. Where's my large cargo? There it is. 100 of those. And a bunch of construction components. And then looks like I'm gonna need, I'll just get 1,000 of those made up. Just in case. Because I know I'm gonna need a lot more. Oh, there's already 200 something in here. Oops. I know I'm gonna need a lot more power cells. So let me go ahead and get those made up as well. 200 maybe? We'll see. And I still have some superconductors left, which will be good, because we might be able to put some refinery and assembler on this thing. We're not going to go hog wild with it, but could come in handy. So, let me go ahead and get some blocks out. Kind of like that. And then we want some windows. 1x2 and 1x1 probably. Not much more than that. Not gonna take a whole lot to do. So let's see. How should we do this? Let's go ahead and do that. And I'm gonna go ahead and get something laid out and show you kind of what it looks like, I guess. I'll get you the basics, because right now I'm kind of just going over how the ship's gonna look more than the functionality of it. So as I get to putting functional items into the ship, I will show you guys where I'm at and how we're doing it. And I don't think I have any girders, do I? How do I not have any girders? I need a bunch of those. So get them going. And you can see with that speed module how it's actually flowing through those. It's really nice. I guess I can only have 65 at a time. Cool. Love it. Beautiful. Alright. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Cool. So all my windows are done for the most part. I'm still debating on if I want those ones there or not. I don't know. We'll see. But I do have my cockpit in. This is what I'll be looking out of. Got all my little screens here I can use for energy, elevation, stuff like that. And then we have 4 batteries. Now, is this going to be enough? I don't know. We'll just have to kind of test and see. In fact, when you put them in, just make sure they are turned off. Just so you're not sitting here draining them while you're building the ship. You want to be able to move this thing when it actually gets going. So, but I wanted to do that because the next thing I'm going to put in, if we go to our stuff, is the ore detector. I kind of want this sitting right behind that front landing gear somewhere. I don't want it necessarily in front because I don't have anything to stick it to. Of course, this is your ship. Do what you want with it. Next, I want some cargo. I'm not going to go ahead and put one of these large on there because these things get heavy. They take up not as much space as you think they can hold, but they're massive in weight. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a few of these. Maybe something like that. Because I shouldn't need much more than that. And if I do, I should have a base up and going by then, or at least started. Next, I'm going to want some gyros. I'd probably say 3 or 4. But I'm going to wait until I get my thrusters on, just so I can see the size of this ship and get a better idea. I'm not exactly sure how many I want yet. It'll probably be 3 or 4 though. Next is our oxygen tanks. Now we want these connected to our cargo. We want at least 1. And that is facing the right way, right? Yeah, good enough. Next, I want an O2H2 generator. I'm gonna get 2 or 3 of these. And I'll explain later exactly why. But basically, this is what's running our thrusters. So, want to make sure we have enough. Next, we need some engines. And we just placed down a great spot for those. Thing is, they don't have a connector on the back end of them. Only on that bottom and the front. So I'm just going to put 2 like this on either side. Now you do not have to build this ship the way I do. Right now, I'm making a hallway. Okay? This is essentially a brick at this point. I have seen very creative ways of doing this. I'm sure you've looked in the workshop. This is just getting the basics on a ship and in the air. So, by all means, do not do exactly what I'm doing. But next, we want to go to our oxygen tank again, and we want hydrogen tanks. These are kind of massive, even on ships. You can get small ones like this. They're about the same size as the oxygen tanks, but I think I'm going to go with these ones. I'm just going to want 2 of them for right now. And I want to make sure they're about the same spot, or else it just looks funny. Kind of like that. We'll see. I may move those, I may not. We'll find out. Yeah. So, the other thing we're going to want, now that we have silver and gold, is going to be another survival kit. Because once we leave, we're not going to necessarily be able to come back. We can always come back. But if we die, that's it. We don't have our ship, and we have to start pretty much here at the base. I mean, yeah, we have stuff to build another one, but why would you waste all the time to build another one when you can just spawn back at this ship? It'll make no sense. So, I'm going to go ahead and get this all welded up. It may look little bit different when I get done, but we'll see. Because I don't know if that's how I want everything placed. But you get the basics. Get all that stuff on your ship and get it welded up. Kind of how you want it. Alrighty then. This is going to be fun. So, not a bad view from where I'm at, though. I like it. I can see quite a bit outwards. Got my screens all set up. But you might have noticed something because I was kind of stupid and showed it off a little bit. I have some thrusters. That's right. I got a little carried away. And went and did quite a bit. Not all of it, though. I still need to do a lot of stuff to it to get it ready. And we will go over that probably next episode. But I want to make sure you guys get the basics of the ships on. That way you can at least fly it around the planet. Get it loaded with some ice. Maybe park it next to an ice mine and just load it up. And that's kind of what we're going to be doing. Or that's kind of what we're going to do. Just to get our hydrogen tanks and oxygen tanks full. So I got batteries for power. Still not sure if that's enough. I think I have 3 or 4. I think I have 4 because I think one's under the door. I got cargo laid out. It goes those 3, and then it actually runs underneath these tanks. And around where this cargo is, there's 3 back there, and then just back around and just makes a loop like that. I have an oxygen tank here and an oxygen tank here. That would be enough oxygen to breathe with for quite a long time. I also have my survival kit right above my head, so I can come in, fill up with hydrogen and energy, and be set. For some reason that didn't give me hydrogen, actually. I'll figure that out later. I might have a pipe somewhere disconnected. I was throwing down a lot of scaffolding and then trying to actually use it. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Next, I put my gyros back here. I only have 3 right now, but I left room for more just in case. Because if 3 is not enough, we can just add a couple and be fine. These are my stairs to get in and out. I will make a proper airlock here eventually, but temporarily, that's just my way up and down. you can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of these hydrogen tanks. Now, are we gonna need that much hydrogen? Maybe, maybe not. It depends. You're gonna have to fly around with your ship, go up to space a couple times, see how much hydrogen it uses, and I'll help you when we actually get flight worthy on how to figure that out. I also have 4 hydrogen engines to get us some power going. You see, we are going to be recharged in 28 minutes. And once these batteries are fully charged, I'm just going to turn off the engines. Plain as day. And I might actually put an event controller in here somewhere. It'll probably be integrated into the armor at this point, or like into the ceiling here. Just to turn those engines off automatically, simply like we did on the base in the last episode. Now the fun part, we have hydrogen thrusters. So these are what we're going to use when flying out in space. The difference between these and the thrusters we've been using is atmospheric thrusters cannot fly, well, without an atmosphere. They kind of need the air and the oxygen to be used. So that even includes like other planets that you happen to land on. If they don't have an atmosphere, then you're not going to be able to use hydrogen engines, or they're going to be very weak. Hydrogen thrusters hold a constant thrust output no matter where they're at, because their fuel is hydrogen. As long as you have the hydrogen, you have the thrust. They also are more powerful than atmospheric thrusters. So they're going to be putting out a lot more, I guess, horsepower in this case. Compared to if we were to put a crap ton of large hydrogen or large atmospheric thrusters on it. Now, this is also where having thrusters in every direction becomes very important. Because in space, if you don't have a thruster to slow you down, say going reverse or downwards, you're just going to keep moving in that direction. They actually have that programmed into the game, where if you are not in an atmosphere or in a gravity well, the actual gravity is what's causing it. If there's no gravity where your ship is, and you press forward on the thrust, and say you don't have any of these reverse thrusters, you're just going to keep going forward until you turn that ship around and use those thrusters to push you back and slow you down. You can do that. It's very inefficient because then you're just using that thrust anyway. So I don't recommend it. The last thing that I have on here that we will go over in the next episode when we start getting this thing ready for space flight is I have a hatch that I walked out of the cockpit with. This one here. The reason I have this here is I have a vent. In the next episode, we're going to be talking about sealing the ship, basically, to make it able to hold oxygen on the inside. Because if you look, I open the door, the oxygen just gets released. We don't want that while we're in space. We only have a finite amount of oxygen in space, so we want to be able to breathe. We want to be able to hold that oxygen as much as possible, and this is how we do that. Now, Automatons update gave us a really cool thing with full block vents, which is nice, because before we would have to have a conveyor junction or a cargo container, and then put, where's it at? One of these. And it sticks out half a block, and it does the same job, but now you can't put anything in front of it. It sticks out. It's just not as pretty to look at as this, which is flush with the wall, has a little animation, so it comes in handy. But to seal the ship, we're going to have to find all the holes, make sure everything's nice and airtight. We'll go over that. Right now, I'm going to see if this thing even lifts up. So we are going to go into our menu here. We see everything we have. I'm going to go ahead and group a bunch of this. Now, I don't ever plan on connecting this ship to the main base, so I'm not going to worry about putting a name in front of it. What I want to do is just make sure everything's kind of grouped accordingly, so I'm not sitting here searching for an hour and a half. And I just hit the wrong button. Okay. So, in my hotbar, I want landing gear, switch lock, batteries, recharge on and off, thrusters on and off. I also want engines on and off, because as I'm looking at my power, it says I have 5%, which isn't terrible, but I don't think that's necessarily correct, which I could be wrong. But we should be okay for right now. That's usage, by the way. So the power thing down in the bottom right where it says 5, that's being used. It's very confusing why they did it that way, but that's just how it is. Real quick, I'm gonna go to my landing gear and turn auto lock off. So get out of here. Let's just see if we can lift off. So we're going to turn on our thrusters. Batteries already are on auto. Switch lock. We can take off. Now, with hydrogen thrusters, you see how long those plumes are? The plumes for the bottom thrusters? That tells me we could probably use a few extra. We're not in a bad spot, considering our weight is about half at the moment with the amount of ice I currently have in it. But that tells me when we're full of weight, we might be struggling a little bit. So if we can, we'll want to add a few more vertical up thrusters. Once we get into space and onto the moon where there's very low gravity, it's not going to matter too much. But here, it will. Say we want to come back and we have a crap ton of iron or platinum or uranium with us. We want to be able to land. So let's go ahead and drop that down. We know we can hover. We can lock. And I know I don't have the hydrogen to fly. I have 2% hydrogen left. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my thrusters back off. Let that build up. What are they at? 1.3%. Yeah. Hydrogen goes fast. So what I was saying about having these 4 tanks, they still might not be enough. So we will see. But we'll check that out in the next episode. Because we should, by the end of next episode, we should be able to fly this at least to a low orbit, which there is no orbit in Space Engineers. It's just floating in above the planet. But you get the idea. Just outside of atmospheric range and just outside of gravity. We're going to try and fly there. Okay? But with that, I'm going to leave you guys to it. I mean, that's the basic stuff you need on your ship. Oh. I also put an ore detector on this. I don't think I went over that part. It's right here. I tend to put it under the front, under the nose, because, I mean, that's where I'm sitting. So, and I want it as close to the ground as possible. So, that's just my preference. You can put it anywhere on the ship and it's going to do what it can. But the closer you have it to the ground, the little bit deeper you can see. So, by all means, put it wherever you want. I don't care. I'm not your dad. So, with that, I think I'm going to leave you guys to it. Go ahead and get all that built up, all that going, and then see what you can come up with. Make it your own. I mean, mine's a little bit narrower and wide towards the back. I don't know, kind of might be able to put some wings on it, make it look like an eagle. I don't know. We'll see. But with that, you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and my spectator cam is very far away. And we shall see you in the next episode. Have a good one, everybody.